Welcome to this YouTube channel once again, my people. I thank you for your support and always staying tuned when I produce my videos. Today, I want to discuss about a very pertinent issue that's affecting many people today, especially young parents who have had children, and it's the issue about child custody. Many young men today are faced with the dilemma of what to do when a previously perfect relationship that brought forth a child or children breaks down, and the couple or spouses can't stay together anymore. The question comes to young men what right do they have over their children? Is it that when a union or a marriage collapses, the child basically remains with the mother and she can do anything she likes? In the past few days, I've had a conversation with a young man who had what he considered a very perfect marriage, a marriage with a future. But for one reason or the other, the reasons that I will not dwell behind, his wife decided to leave the house together with his son, and this left him distraught and didn't know what to do. And having known me, having seen me around, knowing a little bit about my story, he came and asked me what to do. Firstly, let me take this opportunity to relate with you a little bit about myself. About 9 years ago, I was in a relationship that had lasted for 8 years, and in the process, it was a relationship that was blessed with 2 lovely children, a son as the firstborn and a daughter as secondborn. For one reason or the other, just like I said, I want to dwell on the other one. I want to dwell on the background of what happened. But whatever happened was that the relationship broke down, and my then spouse, my then partner, left with the children. So, of course, like any other person, you try your level best to work for things to work out, and it didn't work out. So what was left was the welfare of the children. I traveled into one of our neighboring countries, and that's where she left, and I had to figure out what was I supposed to do. I'm talking to you from Kenya. So I was faced with the fact that here again I was supposed to start a new life when things didn't work out, and I had to do my level best to ensure I still remained in the life or in the lives of my children, because from the very beginning of my union, I swore to myself that my children will never live as bastards, children born out of wedlock and children whose fathers don't take responsibility. So I swore that to myself, and I said whatever it takes, I had to be in the lives of my children. So when this happened, Of course, I had a terrible breakdown because it came unexpectedly. But then, after about 9 months of mourning and not knowing what to do, I decided to pursue this issue. Of course, I was so bonded, I was so focused into making my marriage work, and I gave it, maybe it was quite a long period, but to me, I perfectly understand it was the right time. I gave it about 5 years trying to reconcile a few things here and there because there are a lot of external interferences. But when eventually it dawned on me that it would not work, I decided to, take the bull by its horn and say my children would remain to know me as their father. Because after that period, their mom remarried, and I also had to move on. Now, in the process, I equally found a partner, somebody I love, somebody who was ready to journey with me in the course of life. And when I met this person, I had to come out very openly and let her know that I had just moved on from a relationship, and a relationship that had children. So it was left to her, and I made it clear that if we had to start a journey together, it would start at that point where I had children. Now, the question is, what does the law say about the right of a father to the children? Having gone through the process legally and research on my rights as a father, I found out that a child has a right to have a father and a mother at the same time and equally. There's none of the two parents that is lesser being than the other. Most oftenly, the female parents, that is the mothers, tend to fail, and it's natural in animal kingdom for the feminine or the female species to be so attached to the offsprings. But the truth of the matter is, none comes without the other. A child cannot be born without a father, neither can a child be born without a mother. Therefore, they all have the same rights. So in the process of establishing this, I was made well aware that at whatever stage of a child's life, from conception to delivery and up to the age where the children can decide on their own, the father has as much equal right to the child as the mother. So many young people are left and they don't know what to do when, say for example, the mother of a child decides to take off with the child or the children. They try to pursue this, and sometimes the impediment not only comes from the mother of the child, but also from the relatives who surround the mother and the children. And I want to make it very clearly that not the maternal grandparents, nor the paternal grandparents have any right whatsoever over the children than the mother and the father. As a father, what you need to do in case there's a breakdown or in case you go separate ways is that you must consider and must maintain your responsibility as a father. It doesn't matter how much you have, it doesn't matter how things are. You have to maintain your responsibility as a father. Communication may be a problem in the process because in separation sometimes it's not so easy. Rarely do you get people separate cordially where they talk it out. Most of the time it's acrimonious. But then again, that is a problem between the father and the mother, but not the problem of the child or the children. So as a man, today I want to focus on the men. As a man, whatever happens, whatever the level of your acrimony, the level of the acrimony of your separation, go beyond your relationship with the mother, go above your problems as a couple and look at the bigger picture of the children. Because in most cases, children come through mutual agreement, mostly through love that the children come. So, being a product of love, it should remain that to the time they are mature and can decide for themselves. But until then, you just have to rise against your, acrimony as a couple. So, young people, what do you need to do? Immediately, the mother of your children moves on or decides to leave. They may leave immediately and move to another relationship. Are you obliged to continue supporting your child when your spouse, that's the wife, probably is with another man? It's a dilemma many men do, and immediately they realize their partners have moved on into other relationships. They say they can't take responsibility of their children in that relationship. But the law and nature requires you to cease not supporting your children or your child as of that matter. That child still remains yours. Try as much as possible to build a relationship with the child or the children. When it comes to finances, if you had financial responsibility, maybe the children were going to school, you must strive to maintain that so that your children are in school, so that your children are, dressed, so that your children have something to eat. Because the immediate effect of separation is acrimony, but sometimes it thaws down, and maybe understanding will reign in the due course. But even in the misunderstanding, in the acrimony, in the desire not to see one another, as a man, for you to be considered responsible, to arrest future restrictions and labeling of irresponsibility, do that. Thanks to technology today, you can still financially support your children through money transfer. And that money transfer can be evidenced from the medium you're using. Say, for example, in Kenya, there's money transferred through mobile phones, either majorly Safaricom and Airtel in Kenya, and the records are there. So whatever little that you have, just send that to the mother. It might not be the most, happiest moment of your life. It is not the easiest, and the feeling sometimes of exploitation may come to you. But the point is, send that money, however little it is. It could be maybe 500 per week. It could be 1,000 per week. It could be 5,000 per week. From whatever lifestyle you've lived with the children. And this happens most of the time with guys who are in the informal sector, who are not earning a lot, and the people who only consider that if they're mutually together, their marriage intact, they can surmount any challenge. But of course, with the strains of life, with the challenges of life, even the most humble marriages can break down, but maintain it. Now, in a short time, things may work out, and it will be lovely for couples to solve their issues and come back together. But there is another reality that should not escape us. In as much as you want to work things out with your spouse, it may also fail. Now, in this case, what happens? Now, if you can solve this issue, the two of you, the second step is to involve the parents of your spouse or your partner. That may also hit the rock. You will need maybe to go to the administration, and in Kenya we have provincial administration, maybe the area chief. Explain yourself, and they may be able to assist you. That may also hit the bottom. What happens if chief can't solve that? Then there's the Children's Rights Department. The law envisages a situation where, irrespective of what happens, the welfare of the children must be the topmost. And these children have to be taken care of.